Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Friedoff. I'm a biology teacher here at Bellefonte Area High School, and I wanted to give a rundown of what my class is going to be like this year. So, to get started, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I'm not originally from Bellefonte, but I've been here for 12 years. I grew up on the western side of Pennsylvania, and I went to St. Francis for my undergrad, where I received a biology education degree. So, I did major in biology, but I also got certified to teach. So from there, I was hired at Bellefonte in around 2013-14 school year. I've since then completed my first master's through California University of Pennsylvania. I got a STEM degree or a STEM master's, and I'm currently getting my second master's through Montana State University in something called it's a Master's of Science in Science Education. So I'm very passionate about science and science education, as you can see, but that's just a little bit about my background. I have two main classes this year. I have a biology class and AP biology classes. So you can see I have 4 biology classes and 2 of the AP. So hopefully your student that you're receiving this email about or the video about is in one of those classes. My teacher page that's on the school website or the school directory isn't going to really have a lot of information for you. Basically, what I just talked about right now, my background a little bit. It will have my 2 syllabi, one for biology and one for AP biology. But I'm not using this teacher page very much this year for content. In previous years, I've uploaded some things to it, but we're really focusing on Google Classroom this year. So the only 2 things you're going to find on there are the 2 syllabi that I use for my classes. But you can see my teacher page right there. All right, so class. So what my class is going to be like, first of all, let's talk about Google Classroom. All of my resources and anything that I use is going to be uploaded to Google Classroom under a tab called Classwork. You can see that I'm going to upload things called, or my PowerPoints that I use. These are the PowerPoints that I actually use in class, so they'll always be there for students to use as resources, and then if they ever miss a day. Any assignments that I do in class, I will upload the assignment to Google Classroom as well. And if there is something they have to do online, I'll also post it under classwork. I also have recorded all of my lectures that go through the PowerPoints, and those are called lecture videos. I have already recorded those from last year, so I kept up to date with each chapter and uploaded the whole chapter lecture up onto my YouTube. So when students miss a day, they'll know exactly what I talked about in class. These lecture videos are usually only between I'd say 4 to 8 minutes long for each section. They're probably like 10 or 15 minutes long for the whole chapter. So if they miss a day, they can go through and listen to me kind of work through the PowerPoint and talk about the things I talked about in class, so they can kind of keep up to date with the content. Now on the stream, I post every single day what we do in class and any reminders that I want the students to remember. So you can see this is a post from last year around September. You can see what we did in class that day, some reminders. You can see I have the homework here, which was the syllabus signature form, which is going to be homework for the first couple weeks of class. And then my teacher page, I'll probably take that off this year, and then my YouTube channel where they can find all of the links to my lecture videos. Now, grades. I don't want to brag, but I am probably one of the fastest graders here at Bellefonte. I try to keep up to date so the students know where they're at in my class. If you have a question about a grade, please let me know. But I like to just remind parents and students that missing assignments, so if it says missing in the grade book, I do not have that assignment. If there is no grade in for the assignment, it's probably just because I haven't graded it yet. Sometimes I'll put an assignment in and I haven't even collected it yet, but I have the assignment in so the students can kind of recognize, okay, yeah, I have to remember to turn that in whenever it's due. But if it says missing, that means I have graded everyone else's and I don't have your student's assignment. If you have a question about a grade, please email me. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But one thing I want to talk about before I move on from this section is I really don't believe in homework. I don't think that students should have to do homework outside of class just because I have my own philosophy about school and education. But I really don't want students doing classwork outside of my class. I think the time that I give them in class to complete these assignments is I give them plenty of time. So if your student has homework for my class, that means they're not using their time efficiently. I give, for almost all of my assignments, I give ample amount of time in class for the students to complete it. So yeah, if the students are saying they have homework from my class, they're probably just not using their time effectively to complete their assignments. If you have questions throughout the year, please email me. I don't typically check my email after school and on the weekends, but I do get back within 48 hours. The reason being is just because I'm very busy. I coach track here, and I live a very busy life. So don't expect to get an email back after really school hours, because I'm just, like I said, very busy. And but I will email you back within 48 hours. I'm going to go over the syllabus now for this class. All right, here's the syllabus that is uploaded online for biology. You can see here is my contact info. You can see the course and just a description about the course. The textbook, I have this just outlined here. I really don't have the students use the textbook at all, just because I try to do more engaging things in class. So don't expect a textbook or textbook use really in my class, just because, yeah, I do things a little bit differently. Topics to study, you can see these are the topics that I try to cover in each quarter. About the same amount of information for each quarter, but you can see what the overall topics are going to be. These are the major class assignments. So we have classwork. This is just anything that we're doing in class, an assignment, just any kind of classwork that I'll put under the gradebook as a participation grade, which we'll get into here in a little bit. I like to do a lot of labs. I try to use these as ways for the students to kind of explore the ideas and to become familiar with the scientific method and the nature of science. But the labs will most likely not be an assessment grade. They'll most likely be a participation grade, which again I'll get into here in a little bit. And then tests. My tests are, and I'm going to keep this the same as previous years, are open note tests. I think that students should have their notes available. So note taking is a very crucial skill in my class that hopefully your students have, or they will build throughout the year. But those are the kind of the three main major class assignments that I use. Here's some of the policies. Now, the big difference about my class compared with other classes is that my class, I only have two types of grades, and these are participation grades and assessment grades. Participation grades are anything where I'm not really assessing the students. I'm just checking to make sure they've tried, they've worked on it, they've completed the assignment. This accounts for 40% of their grade. The assessment grade is anything where I am assessing their knowledge. I am taking a look at what they know and what they don't know. And that's 60% of the grade. So my grade in total is it's called a weighted graded system. So 60% of their grade, like I said, comes from the assessments. 40% comes from the participation grade. So that's one major difference between my class and other classes. Is if you see a grade go in and you don't understand why it's maybe not calculating to what you think it should be, it's because, again, my grades are weighted. Cell phone policy. They are really focusing on student usage of cell phones. I tell my students all the time that, don't have your cell phone out your desk, don't have your cell phone out, don't be texting on it. At the end of class, whenever, if they get done with the assignment early or they have time, I don't mind if they're on it. But when we're in class, they should not be on their phone. They should not be distracted by it, having it out. I always tell my students there's a two-way respect street. I won't have my phone out then throughout the class, because I need to be focused on them as well. Late policy, they have 3 days to turn in an assignment. After 3 days, it will be a 0. I try to be lenient. I have this in here just as a policy, but I try to be really lenient with this. I really don't remember in the past couple of years taking off late points, just because I get that life is crazy and can be very, just things going on. Just make sure your students aren't waiting until the last second, to turn things in at the end of the quarter, just because they need to get the things in on their assignments in on time. Makeup policy. If they miss a day, they have to make up what's assigned to them. Like I said, on my Google Classroom, everything will be assigned. Cheating policy. Obviously, the district's policy on cheating and plagiarism applies to my class. Movie. We watched 2 movies throughout the year, Gattaca and Contagion. I actually didn't even watch either of these last year, just because of how crazy it was last year with just things going on. But they are 2 PG-13 movies. By signing the syllabus signature form, I have that kind of covered for my movie policy. Like I said, with emails, I get back within 48 hours, and I try to only email between 8 and 3:15. I highly encourage parents, caregivers, guardians to be involved in their students' lives with education. I know that you also live very stressful lives, but just checking in and seeing how they're doing in class and just talking with them about what they did in class can really spur some really cool conversations because especially because biology is a study of life and how it applies to their daily lives is really important. So I always encourage caregivers to really and parents to get involved in their child's education. But you probably already know that. AI. So there is a new initiative to really focus on how students use AI. I try to recommend students that they use AI appropriately. They try to have it be a starting point for their work, but definitely not take the place of their work because when they use AI, it will be hopefully we will find it out and target it. And it's a write up, and I just encourage my students to do their own work because in the long run, it's going to help you out more. So basically, that's the whole syllabus. I do have some like student expectations you can read through here, but they're just what I think students should be kind of expected to in class. I'm not going to go over every part here, but this is my class. If you have any other questions, please email me right here, and I will get back to you. Thank you.